ARC. Oh
ARC.
my god.
Arc.
And with that crazy
ARC.
update, I'm Grimnag.
AIDERS.
And that's Free Red. Being silly again.
Yeah, I'm tired.
And this episode of That Aussie Couple, we are going to talk about our latest, not obsession, but just interesting thing to look at.
Yeah, we've only been watching it all week. The
Yeah.
silly videos that players have been doing.
We've been paying a lot of attention to the...
and we've signed up and for the playtest, and hopefully they'll accept us at some point.
Yes.
Maybe.
Arc Raiders Alpha gained players nearly every single day. I'm not saying it was an alpha. It was more of like tech test. That's what they called it. They didn't call it an alpha, but still. Arc Raiders, for those of you who don't know, is the latest extraction shooter from Embark Studios, which I think is going to be their first game. I think. And if so, good start. The second closed alpha test of Arc Raiders got a lot of attention this week as word spread about the new extraction shooter. That positive word of mouth and lots of silly videos led to a significant achievement, an increase in the number of players every day, minus a tiny tick down at last night, reflecting glowing sentiments about the game and also more codes being issued over time. Arc Raiders will be a new entry into the extraction genre, releasing sometime this year, it's claimed. But after experiencing the alpha, it seems pretty close to ready at this point, and many are predicting developer Embark may pull off another shadow drop this summer, like they did with the Finals, their other PvP game. You may not realize has in fact maintained a solidly consistent player count over time. I couldn't get into the Finals. I mean, I like it. It's a first-person shooter.
No, that'll be one. Never heard of it.
And it's kind of a game showy one. I guess that's why it's kind of an extraction thing.
I don't do first person.
Yes. This is why Arc got your attention, because it's third person.
Yeah, I don't do PvP either, but you know I'm going to end up dead every, 1 minute into the game.
No,
that's too generous. 5 seconds into the game.
No, you're not going to be spawned on top of another player. That's not that kind of game. It's a PvE.
No. Not being spawned on top of another player. Being spawned and then a player goes, "Oh, who's that?" Bang. Maybe I go and go, "Oh, flower."
Maybe Bang. First, but I have a feeling you're better than you're giving yourself credit for. But it's good to see that the every day was going up as they were doing it. Max 24-hour peak was 21,515 from SteamDB. Pretty quickly, Arc Raiders demonstrated how it was a somewhat less hardcore, which is key for ours, but appealing version of Tarkov with traditional extraction elements ranging from crafting to home base upgrades. The game itself features harrowing robotic PvE enemies, including one hulking boss that was only defeated 58 times total, as tens of thousands of players played the alpha. And of course, there are plenty of PvP fights as well. The core of the experience, and there have been some pretty funny clips ahead already from the test. Yes, like riding arcs. And, hey dude, don't shoot. Because this one's got proximity chat, so fun time.
Yeah.
What stood out most to me as I played was the sound design, relying more heavily than most other games I've ever played on footsteps, gunfire, and often looting, prying open extremely loud containers or setting off blaring alarms and looting big drops. Yes, other games have this, but it's also how it sounds. I've never been so terrified of cracking gunfire nearby or grit my teeth as hard as when I'm jamming a crowbar into a screaming rusted box. Yes, all this is inevitably leading to the performance of the games versus Marathon.
Well, both of us, we're not exactly the stealthy types.
No.
We're going to be walking around making noise.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Yeah, but it's about figuring out when to make noise, when not to make noise, and if you're making noise, know how to deal with those who come to find you.
You do that so well.
Hey, I do it okay. Shotguns are fun. Another high-profile extraction shooter that has been running a closed alpha simultaneously, though that we've basically seen nothing on. Like, nobody's talking about Marathon other than to say, it exists in comparison to Arc.
I don't even know what Marathon is.
It's the one with the robot doll-looking people. It's the one with the... They look
the one that we looked at, and I'm like, I don't even know what this game's all about.
Yeah, that one.
That silly one?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. A close off the game is obviously far less finished than Ark. It was a stark contrast in reception, and Bungie's new shooter lacked many of the extraction elements fans of that game want, alpha or not, while also feeling somewhat inaccessible to new players, especially those hoping to play solo. More than Ark, anyway. As such, the Marathon closed alpha lost PC players every day, the inverse of Ark, though some of that may be due to the somewhat inexplicable decision to barely give out new codes despite always promising more. There are still too many unknowns to know what will happen with Marathon, but Arc seems destined to be at least some level of a genre hit. I'm not expecting insane numbers or the ability to dethrone Tarkov, but if it settles into the finals cadence, I think Embark will be just fine with that. And it's, I think the only thing is weird because the finals is a free to play game, right? Arc will be a paid game. People are saying it sounds like it's going to be about $40 American, so that'd be about $60 us pricing.
Maybe.
So
depends on where the currency conversion's at.
true. But given that, I mean, I hope we get in. I hope you like it, and if you like it, we'll get
Well, if we don't get in, we'll buy it.
Yep.
But I'll put a timer up so I don't go over the 2 hours. So if I get attacked with motion sickness or what have you, or it's just too much for my brain to handle, like, you know, what buttons to press for this and that, then I can refund it without problem.
Yeah. And that's still going to give you like 2 raids, at least, maybe 3 raids to the surface before you go, But honestly,
I am looking forward to it.
I'm pretty sure they're going to run an open beta too.
Because I like doing resourcing. Because I loved Once Human. Which we should play again.
We can.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Because I like resourcing and I like fighting and hiding from things and what have you. The PvP, maybe I'll just have to, you know, get used to it.
Yeah, just know that humans are out there.
I'll play on my bad days when I feel like killing somebody.
Well, that's what all PvP games. It's all about. You know what? Sometimes you just want to shoot somebody. I do that a lot.
Because you can't shoot the person in the room with you.
Yes, she's looking at me.
So you shoot somebody else.
All right. Well, with that dark thought, we'll leave it there. I'm Grimnag.
And let's go and eat some sand.
Because that's a nice tease for our next video. We hope to see you next time. Have a good one.
Bye.